companies or whatever, they benefit off of you essentially not finding anybody. So dating apps have been a huge part of the early 2000s and even leading up to now of people, how people meet and how people interact or mingle or whatever, right? But nowadays people are deciding to wake up now finally and realizing that dating apps are really just a scam, basically, essentially, if you really look at it. But anyway, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and like the video. And yeah, we're just gonna get right into it.
How single I feel, I don't care how lonely I'll ever get, I am not downloading a dating app, bro. It ain't happening. It's not happening. Will never be the dude or the person that's just swiping away, trying to find somebody to meet up on an app, online. Listen, I get it, right? I get it. You want to meet somebody. Everybody does. If we're being honest, everybody does. I had somebody ask me this the other day. Where I'm at right now. How do I feel about being single right now? Honestly, there are days when I love being single and there are days when I hate it. If we're being truthful. But I'm not going to go get on a dating app and try to meet somebody just by some pictures that I see.
Yeah, it's a very interesting thing of how these companies try to market to people on these dating apps, particularly young men in that regard, as far as the dating apps. Now, of course, if you're a woman on there, of course there's your own challenges with that as well. But I feel like if you're a guy and you're on these dating apps, like, seriously look into it. I know some people who, download the apps just for the heck of it, on some whatever happens. I'm not really taking this app seriously. But there are some people, right, who are on this app genuinely looking for like a long-term relationship. And I think that's where a lot of people need to understand that, these companies or whatever, they benefit off of you essentially not finding anybody. So the more successful they are at keeping you on the app, the more time and energy they get from you. And, God forbid, money as well. Because, some of these are like, essentially pay to win. So it's like, essentially these dating apps are nothing but a scam for anybody involved. It's a waste of your time. Don't do it. It's one of those things that, again, the companies do not benefit from people actually finding long-term, valuable, and meaningful relationships on there.
Are we being for real? Dating is today, a lot of it is because of dating apps. A lot of it is because that people are getting instant gratification. People are trying to spark up a chemistry by looking at somebody's pictures or filtering through pictures online. They're making judgments and assumptions based off, oh, this guy looks weird, or this girl, she looks funny in her picture, so that she's probably a weirdo. What are we doing, bro? We got to go back to the time where we gave people the benefit of the doubt. We got to go back to the time where we want to meet people in real life.
Yeah, when people are actually going out and meeting people in real life.
Happen to meet somebody organically. What happened to that? And I will never get on a dating app. If you catch me on a dating app...
Hey ladies, I feel like a big reason that like a lot of these dating apps just are not going to work for most people, especially women who date men, is that most of these men are not marketable on apps. Like, it's hard to like a man through a screen. They don't know how to take pictures. Their sense of humor rarely ever translates. Like, it's not the same as meeting them in person. I remember one time a couple of years ago, I was like 21, I think. I went to a music festival and I ended up meeting this guy and we hit it off really well. I had the biggest crush on him for the 30 minutes to an hour that I knew him. And at some point in that conversation, he was like, you look really familiar. And I was like, he kind of looked familiar too. Turns out we had both seen each other. At that point in time, I was on Tinder. We had both seen each other on Tinder. And he was like, yeah, I swiped on you, but you didn't swipe me back. So I said, let me see your profile.
That's awkward as hell.
This is his profile. And I was like, yeah, I would never swipe.
Can you imagine? Like, that's crazy. Like, can you imagine, like, people would be using the apps, right? And then you meet that same person in real life, not realizing you're meeting that exact same person. And then it's just like, oh, that's just a little bit awkward right there. But, like, you have to understand, too, it's just like with these apps, it's just straight. You swipe, you look at the person for like 2 seconds and you just swipe. That's it. Like, other than like, like a cold approach, or you meeting people in real life or mingling in real life, now more so than ever, people are relying on meeting people online, or whether it be, you know, dating apps or, you know, social media. Even social media has become like a form of dating. In fact, you know, Instagram in and of itself is basically a dating app at this point. So it's like, as far as just being online or whatever, people need to kind of detach themselves from that space and kind of get back to interacting in real life, you know, with real people, real interactions, you know, the real first time impressions, so that, you know, things are probably going to be for the better, if we're being honest here. But, you know, that's crazy.
This profile. I know exactly why I did. These pictures are hideous. The bio is completely empty. I would never go for this, but meeting him in real life, I'm obsessed with you. Like the energy.
Yeah, and that's what people have to realize. The idea of the apps is not even to get to know the person. It's just straight up visual at first. And I'm not going to sit here and say that, you know, humans aren't visual creatures, because we are. So we see something that looks good, but obviously we're going to like that thing. But like, you have to also understand too that when anybody subjugates themselves to that space, you're essentially promoting yourself like a product. And essentially, if people don't like the said product, I guess you're just on the back burner, and, you know, that's just tough luck at that point. And another thing too, if you are a guy and if you are on these apps, if you so happen to be on them, and you decide to write a bio, it is still a waste of time, because again, bios mean nothing if they don't even actually go to the profile. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, I know some people are gonna say,
well, yeah, you have to fix it up and add a bio and add, and just
think, no, it doesn't matter. You have to understand, these apps are designed in a way where people are just gonna keep swiping and swiping and swiping. That's about it. Like, no one's actually reading bios. That's all just for aesthetics. You know, that's all just to kind of waste your time and keep you on the app, essentially. Like, it's a waste of time and pointless. And that's why, you know, if it were me giving any type of advice, just honestly, don't take those apps seriously at all.
Easier to say no to a man when you're looking at him like reducted. Like, this is not really him. This is him trying to sell himself, and he's just not doing a great job at it. I also found, in my experience, I don't know if this is necessarily a normal thing, but in my experience, the men who do seem really good on dating apps usually have turned out to be the worst men in person for me. Like, the ones that do know how to take good pictures, and the ones that know how to charm you with just the profile without even ever having to actually text you or know you or talk to you. They can charm you just off the prompts. They end up being the worst ones, girl. That's why, since I have rejoined Hinge, I took me a little break because they were sending me too many ugly men all summer. So I had to take a little break. But now that I'm back,
Some might call that skill-based matchmaking, but I digress. All jokes aside, it's one of those things where you're definitely not going to get the, how do I put this, the cream of the crop on these apps for anybody, because essentially, again, these apps are not designed for you to actually find someone that you might actually click with, or someone that you're actually interested in. It's designed to keep you on there for as long as possible and potentially spend money as well. That's the whole point. At the end of the day, these apps are a business. These are companies behind these apps. So of course they're gonna, you know, make it a little bit harder for people to find what they're actually looking for on there. That's why I tell people all the time, just don't take these apps seriously. Like, it's not that serious. Just don't take these apps seriously. But anyway, you guys, that is the end of the video. Comment down below your favorite part, and if you're new to the channel, be sure to like and subscribe, as it really helps me out a lot. And I'll catch you guys next time.